name properly, Gorgara's back, to just make sure that you don't miss it. I missed it when I was doing my attempt. Hey there peeps, what is going on? It's Miss C.O.Z here, and we're back with some more Jedi Fallen Order. So, Jedi Fallen Order, at some point you're going to encounter a boss fight called Gorgara. It's just like this massive owl thing. It reminded me, oddly enough, of a game that I did try in the past called Dauntless. I think there was like a strike in there or something. It had a very similar moveset. It was kind of like an owl, dragon, beast sort of thing. And personally, I found this one more easier than the Ninth Sister one, because it didn't require that much parrying, and the moveset was relatively easy to read once you've had a few tries against him and learn how to do it. The first section of the boss fight consists of essentially just dodging left and right, so he's gonna tilt his wings back and forth to try and slam you, and when he goes red you just want to avoid and roll around it. There's also a gust that he does that slams you back, and a head pound, as you can see there, which you want to severely avoid. So throughout later in the fight I did start avoiding it, but yeah, it was just rolling back and forth, and I was going for the talons, or just hitting them, not the talons with the sides, and hitting them underneath. You should play aggressive whenever you get a chance. After he gives you, or she or whatever it is, gives you an opening, you want to make sure that you whittle down his health, although you, of course, be careful. And then during when the fight progresses a little bit, it starts flying and sending these sand attacks and also AoEs. Now originally what it does is just, it does a first slam, so you want to jump over that, and then it starts running across the arena, so you just want to get the hell out of the way and get out of its path. When you do that, as you can see, I was just running, and then it does a slam and you want to roll behind it, and just keep rolling behind it, and then do the same thing again, you know. Dodge left, dodge right, and then hit the legs or roll through and under it. Like with most typical boss fights with higher difficulties that are these kind of beasts this large, I was trying to get behind him as well so that he couldn't attack me. Then he starts this shit all over again, and you just roll out of the way, whoa, and then you jump, always to make sure that you avoid that slam. So the damage that the Gorgara does is very high. Or considerably higher than most, given its its size and the amount of slams are coming out of it. But in general, it shouldn't be too hard once you have narrowed down the moveset. I mean, he did get my health, but I was consistently always going in there with small swipes back and forth between my lightsaber. As you can see, it's pretty much just regurgitating the move and then getting in there, let's say slamming in, getting those attacks in, getting behind him, avoiding the slams. Although as we can see, once you get past half his health, it does become more aggressive and more faster. So you just need to make sure that you are being consistent with your dodges. That's what I found worked in this strategy. In terms of, if it does take your health, just quickly use the health again, and then go back in once more, and then just keep hitting, keep whittling. And sometimes when you hit it enough, you can stun it to prevent of course another moveset starting as well. So aggression really works between the openings once you've learnt the moveset considerably enough. So then it flies again, and it sends all these gusts. It does like a shriek sort of movement. You need to jump, but this time it slams twice once it's past its health bar, meaning that the AoE appears 2 times. So just remember, because I did die quite a lot at that time when I didn't realize until I learned, of course, double AoE, so jump twice after it goes past its health bar, because that's when it becomes more aggressive. Then of course it begins pounding and charging. You just need to get out of its charge path, and that should be fine. But if you are hit with that attack, it's bad. Ooh, as you can see, sometimes you do get hit with that AoE attack, and that's something to also mention. It did wipe off quite a bit of my health, but luckily I had enough at this point enough to just tank it and just go in. It took me about 5 minutes to whittle his health bar down. Some people can do it faster. I think this is my first attempt, I mean my first playthrough of this game, and since I'm working on other games as well, if I were to repeat it, maybe I would even do something. I don't know if a no damage run exists on this, or a no leveling run. I think I done one on Bloodborne, so I assume that people have done it on this game as well. But in general, for just your general boss fight, it worked. You should be able to at this level of the game, if you want to make it easier, just tank the hits and just get in there, because the fight doesn't finish. I mean, once once you get to this stage where you're pretty much flying, and I think I skipped it in because it was just too long to hold inside a video. So in its last stage of his health, you're pretty much flying on top of it, and you kind of just have to dodge a few things. So when you're falling, and it's in skydiving and free falling, you want to land on Gorgara, I can't even say the bloody name properly, Gorgara's back, to just make sure that you don't miss it. I missed it when I was doing my attempt. Just seeing, yep. So then you press L2, so then it becomes a little bit like Shadow of the Colossus, but in the sky, you know, where you slay the giants and all that shit. How many times does it take me to literally get that right? Oh my god, this is hilarious. This is just additional comedy in the video that I decided to upload because it took me like 4 attempts to land it. Okay, when you finally get on it, you know, the bits of the hair that you grab, like Shadow of the Colossus, exactly what it was reminding me of. If you haven't played it, it's a fantastic game. I think I did get through quite a bit of it and then moved on to another game. I've got so many playthroughs that I need to go back to. There's just too much to play, but they will all get done eventually. And then it crashes into the rock as well, so you just got to make sure that you parkour your way up the, what it was. I think it took me quite a few times. I might as well. Right, where is this even happening? So he's flying down. He's flying down there, and okay. Yeah, you trust. Okay, so you jump. So you trust you while flying from that bloody height. It's just a whole level of cinematics, pretty much. I think they were just trying to make it like really adventurous. I think it's because it is an adventure game with Souls-like elements on its highest difficulty, or the boss fights remind me of Souls-like elements. And I think when they were also designing the game, and I was reading about it, they were saying it was literally like Uncharted, the Star Wars version, combined with the Souls for, you know, people who wanted to do like the challenge run or the higher ones. And then it randomly just dies like a fly that just died. So then that's it. That's pretty much the end of the boss fight. But yeah, there was just a general idea of what I done during the boss fight and tips that I thought might help.